All right, ladies. Oh my God. Look at all these superstar beauties. Jeez. I'm so lucky. Thank you, Babi Manu, for being here. Marissa Andrews, and of course, Kassandra Gillis. Thank you so much. So today, I just want to talk about wellness, and I want to get to know each and every one of you. This is my first time interviewing you guys. I got to give props to Miss Marissa Andrews for winning at the Texas Pro. I know you came in third in Tampa. And and you just jumped into that show just to jump in.
Yes. So my coach and I, which is also Cassandra's coach, we had this pie in the sky goal of prepping in 9 weeks when usually my body takes 16 to 20 to respond. And at 6 weeks out, we were looking like we could hold our own. And I was going to be down there to walk in the Angel Runway show anyway. So we thought, why not jump on stage, see how we're holding up with a 2-week out physique? And at third place for a show that I was prepping for 6 weeks and had no intention to do is unreal. Unreal. I was so excited. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you were thrilled winning the Texas Pro and they called your name, right?
Yeah, a little bit more excited there. Yes, I think on the spectrum of things.
I was going to say, Babi, what have you been up to? I see you've been training. You're doing all this cooking. It makes me hungry looking at your meals that you cook. And I know you have your swimwear line as well as your apparel line. And I know you got other things. What's been going on in your neck of the woods?
Okay, so it's a lot going on in my life. Since I stepped to Olympia last year. So after I competed last year at the Olympia, I don't know if you know, you probably don't know my story, but I started competing. I think now I had 2.5 years competing my whole life. So my journey was a little fast. I turned pro and I got to the Olympia the same year. And then I competed the Olympia again last year. But seeing the wellness, the division and everything, I decided I need a little break. I need to focus on training and heal myself, but I need to take my time because all these girls, they so ahead of me on time, on training, maturing muscle, you know how it is.
Sure.
So I decided to, and I also had my brand and working with my company, but I never could have focused 100% because I was competing. So I decided to take a little break in competing and focus on my brand this year and keep it growing, keep building. Also after Olympia, I had to change my boobs. I had a surgery. So I wasn't training for 10 weeks. So it's okay, I need to take that time. And it was good because I'm happy. My main goal for this year is put my brand out there. And I think so far I've been doing good. I was able to put my brand in the Miami Swim Week, which is huge. And it was a big accomplishment and I'm really happy. And that's it. I want to keep growing. This year I won't be at Olympia.
Did you say you will be at the Olympia?
I won't be competing, but I will be there.
I was going to say, yeah, okay, good.
Yeah. I have a brands that will be working, Get, Celsius. I'll be there working and supporting the girls. I would love to see the girls on stage, but not competing this year.
Well, I got to throw in real quick. You have a very beautiful physique, and your stage presentation is just, all eyes are on you when you walk out, and beautiful. And I understand taking the time off to grow into your physique because you have a lot of potential. A lot. There's a lot. There's so many people that love your look as well as the rest of you guys as well. So I'm really curious to see next year is going to be huge for you. So good for you. Kassandra, what are you up to, Miss International Champ? I know you won the Vancouver Island Showdown as well. Do I have another? I think you won another show, didn't you? Wasn't there another show? Was there another show you won or just those two?
So we did Pittsburgh pretty much right after Van Island. And I think my body was a little bit tired at that point. So I didn't come in as sharp, which they gave me my feedback. That's what it was. And then we shut it down. And I also got my breasts redone. So I kind of just got finished recovering from that. And now I'm full on training again and just starting my cut for the Olympia.
Cool. Very cool.
Guys, I got chest done too this year.
So did I.
Oh my God, this is the best year ever.
It's the year of the boobs.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, ladies,
cheers
now
to
this
that.
is going to be funny. I can't really, we're talking about boobs, right? So I have like a little boob thing that it kind of goes around with. You got to wind it up, and it moves. But anyway, it's boobs. So
Oh, I love
sorry.
that so much.
Speaking of boobs. So, ladies, I want to ask, because again, I don't know each and every one of you. I know that, Marissa, you are in prep right now or not prep, but you're in school.
Yes.
So can you tell
studying
us?
To be a,
tell us.
Oh, yeah. So I'm studying to be a dentist. So I'm in school right now to become a doctor of dental surgery. So I'm a full-time student, 8 to 6, Monday through Friday. And also in prep. So
crazy.
It's exhausting. Lots of caffeine and a dream type mentality lately.
Okay, what kind of caffeine? Like coffee or Celsius?
Yes. So I take my thermo in the morning before I do my fasted cardio, and then iced coffee after. And then I have these. They're from Axe and Sledge. They're called artificial intelligence. They're more of like a neurotropic, but also a stimulant. And then keep it running. And I think pre-workout some days when I train too. So high functioning caffeine addict.
So yeah, whatever works, right, to get through the day. But that's a busy schedule for you, because I know that's full time with the school and all that stuff. Now you are obviously the sister of the famous Miss Sunny Andrews. So what was it like being on stage at the Olympia with your sister?
It was one of the most unique and incredible experiences to not only be at the biggest stage in the world, which would have been a dream on its own, but to be able to stand next to my sister, who has been, she's 8 years older than me. She's been my best friend, role model. I do everything she does. She became an IFBB wellness pro. I became a wellness pro. She went to med school. I went to dental school. Everything, I'm just always that little sister that's trying to just be like my role model, and to be standing there next to her and having her hold my hand when they're calling call outs and just passing by each other. It was surreal. Mm-hmm. It made me feel very safe. After prejudging, I was in the midst of having a panic attack. Oh, wow. For some reason, I thought that I blew my routine. I was like, I just don't want last. I don't want last. I was in the corner hyperventilating. Wow. And she came over and was like, listen, she's like, you are Marissa goddamn Andrews. She's like, you're going to get out there or you're going to go home. So she's like, you have two choices. You're going to go show the world who you are, who I know you are, or you can leave right now. And I was like, okay, let's get out there together and show the world who we are. So
and you came in 7th, is that right?
7th.
So when they called you for 7th, what was going through your mind?
So I honestly didn't think. I thought they made a mistake. So my number was number 1. And I thought that when Sandy said, all right, can we have number 1? I thought she was going to say number 1 competitor, and then list number 2, my sister.
Sure.
And I just stood there for about 5 seconds until I heard Ashley, our posing coach, scream, and I was like, "Oh my God, they actually mean me!" So it was surreal.
It is my dream to see you and your sister in the first call out side by side on the Olympia stage, and seeing the battle. I want to see that.
Oh, I would love that.
Babi, what was your first Olympia experience like?
My first Olympia was also the first time the wellness was happening in the United States. And the first time the wellness was on a Mr. Olympia stage. So for me, being Brazilian, I was in Brazil when the wellness division started, and I was 13, 14. I was super young. And I remember going to the gym with 7. I started going to the gym for 18. And then I remember looking up to girls like Angela Borges. Mm-hmm. By the time Aline Barreto was killing too, Franciel, all these girls. And I was a little skinny girl. I just want to grow my legs, my butt, and be curvy. The wellness girl was created in Brazil because of that. We wanted the curves, we wanted the body. And I was skinny, I want to look like that. So for me, just alone to be able to turn pro as a wellness knowing the history of the wellness and where that came from and what does they look like, for me was already like a big thing. But be on the stage with Angela Boys, Franciel, Lisa Pereira, that was for me like I don't need to do anything else anymore. That was the most amazing experience for me because we made history. We are the first wellness to be on stage, and I was there. Like, who am I next to these girls?
Yes.
And just that they are so sweet, so supported, and then I was able to compete with them again at the Arnold and next year. So it was like be able to meet your hero and not just that but compete with them, it's amazing experience. But not just that, we are making history. So the whole thing was just for me, like I say, I turned pro in July. In August I qualified for the Olympia.
Wow.
In December I was already competing, so it was like
Yeah.
like that. So I couldn't even process everything. But when I was at the backstage, it was like, yeah, like this is happening. I'm here with these girls. And that just motivated me even more to keep going. But I also respect my story and respect my journey, understand that, yeah, I was there. It was amazing. But I have to understand where I am. Like I just started, they
Sure.
ahead. We share the stage, we share the backstage, but I understand they are so much like ahead of me, and I respect them so much. I have so much respect and admiration for this woman. They amazing, and not just the physique, but the people, like
Sure.
the woman. So for me, it's just I think that just motivated me to go back home, do my work, and respect my own story because they had their own story.
Sure.
They didn't just got there to the Olympia. They've been training for 10, 15 years.
I'm going to ask you a question here later in our conversation that I really want to hear your answer because I admire what you do. You're very positive and you have a different way of looking at life. So I want to ask all of you this question. But Kassandra, what was your first Olympia experience like? And then, of course, you end up being the 2023 Arnold Classic International Wellness Champion.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I was a part of the very first Wellness Olympia with Babi as well. My very first wellness show was Milwaukee, and I was disappointed. I came, I think, 9th at Milwaukee. And then right after that, we jumped into Chicago, made some changes, and I jumped up to first at that show. So that was very surreal for me. And me too, I couldn't believe I was going to be standing on stage next to some of these girls that you idolize on social media and all of that stuff. So I gave it my best for my first Olympia, and I ended up placing 11th. So I was a little bit disappointed. I think I had a bit of my figure look still because I did come back from the figure category. So I did come in a bit too hard and lean, they said. And I think I was looking a bit too proportionate top to bottom. So after that, I just kept doing show after show after show and getting feedback and making tweaks. And then I gradually climbed the ladder.
When you got called first for the Miss International, what was your feeling going through your mind?
Yeah, I didn't believe it. I mean, like I idolized Angela Borges too. So yeah, it was very surreal. It was cool to be on stage next to my teammate too, Marissa. So yeah.
Who was your role model as to why you got into wellness? Who did you look up to?
Vivi Winkler.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Marissa, who is yours?
I think the easiest answer would probably be my sister.
Of course.
And I think that the category in whole really gave me a lot of inspiration to start fitness. So like Babi, I've only been competing for now 2.5 years, maybe 2 years. And there was never a category that would fit my soccer player thighs. So I always joke that God gave me thunder thighs for a reason. And when wellness was created, Sunny dragged me by the hair to the gym and was like, listen, she's like, if I'm doing this, you can do this.
What position did you play in soccer?
I was a striker.
Oh, okay.
So forward.
That's what,
yeah.
I was a center fullback. And I played goalie at one point, but I didn't like it because I kept on getting hit in the face.
you have to be a special type of insane to play goalie. Like
Yes.
it is a different type of crazy. So respect.
Do you feel that the Texas Pro was your best look to date? Because you've made huge improvements from last year and this year.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
Yes, I think that was the judges' feedback as well. And it was the most conditioned I've ever been, the largest I've ever been, the most proportioned. My waist was the smallest. Like everything was just kind of falling into place. My feedback from Olympia last year was to bring down my upper body, and we brought it down by 1.5 inches. And Tyler pulled me aside afterwards and was like, I noticed. So I think everything is really, really coming into place.
Now,
So short answer, yes.
I have a question for you girls. Do you think that wellness right now, as it's growing, is becoming more in between physique and figure with some of the girls competing?
In what regard?
Well, the physique. So the question is, do you feel that wellness look is similar vision of women's physique or figure? The
It is
look
getting
of it.
more and more intense as we go along, for sure.
Yeah. Do you think, what do you think, Marissa? Do you think it is?
So going off the feedback that I got from Tyler, it may be moving in that direction, or it may appear that it is, but that's not the direction that they're hoping to go towards.
Okay.
So the feedback for me was don't get any bigger. So I'm not supposed to grow for the Olympia. My legs are the biggest they want to see them on stage. My upper body is the biggest they want to see it on stage. They gave Mia Samuel second because of the type of proportions and the flow of her physique. So I also think, Bobby, you need to give yourself more credit. These women are not leaps and bounds ahead of you. You have such an
Agreed.
incredible physique and structure and like not symmetry, but flow to your physique. And you really you got to the Olympia stage, you got to the Arnold stage, you hold your own. And that's what they're looking for, is that femininity, but that larger lower body.
So this brings up a question I wanted to ask you girls as well. To you, what is the ideal physique? Now, for me, I would say Babi, Marissa, and Kassandra is that nice, beautiful, the curves, just the look. It's not too hard. That's my ideal wellness. So I would like to ask each and every one of you, Babi, what is your ideal wellness physique?
You really wanna know that?
Yes.
Okay, so I think Franciel describes what is the best, what wellness is. Like nothing outside of that for me should have. I think if you're more than that, I think you getting out of what should be the wellness. For me, because I've been watching the division and I see the division since I was like not even thinking competing. The wellness should be that look where wellness, the name I already say, it's like healthy, and I think the look should be a healthy look, feminine. The first thing, feminine, and yeah, the legs and glutes, but nothing too aggressive. I'll say that. So
Okay.
I think
Can you specify, not to cut you off, but can you specify aggressive?
Not because we already have a divisions where the muscle, like more muscular, hard, and like you say, the woman's physique, the figure, they had more density, more definition. And I think wellness should be like when they describe a wellness, a little bit above of bikini with a more lower body development, but it's still no striations, a softer look, a feminine look. So I think that's what I'm always gonna defend. And even if though I don't place it, I still gonna defend what I think it should be the division. Let me be honest with you, but a lot of times I was like, I don't think I can do wellness because I'm like skinny if you see my bones, I'm like super skinny. For me to build that kind of muscle, it's really hard. So a lot of times it's like it cannot be wellness, and even though like seeing the division growing, like the girls coming big, and I admire that. I think it's amazing physique. I just don't think it's for me. I even the last Olympia I text Attila and Tyler, say, hey, you guys think I should give a wellness, or maybe I should like drop it or go to another division? And then they told me Marissa mentioned they don't want to go to that level. So they say keep it growing, keep your symmetry, keep your physique, your shape. We love that. We think that's so. Okay, I'm gonna keep on that, but the only thing for me was hard to get to this point was like, okay, I need to do my own thing. My physique might be different from the other girls, but it still can be wellness. And the only person, that's why when you ask me, for me it's easy to say, anybody that knows my story know that the only person that made me believe I could do wellness was Francielle. Because when she did the first Olympia, I was like, okay, she's big, I've been seeing her, but she's still keeping the look, the feminine, and she can put a dress and then she still look feminine and not too big. So I was like, okay, that's my whole motto. And that's what I go for. But now not looking more only her, but look at me. Yeah. What I can bring the best of me. Like I know what wellness is supposed to be. We can read that, right? If you go to the NPC, we're gonna read what wellness is supposed to be. But everybody's different. Everybody has different structure. Like Marissa says, she has big legs, genetics. She's blessed with that. Yeah. I don't, but I can make it still look the proportions. I still can make the proportions and make the lower body bigger than upper body. So my main thing is keep building my wellness physique that fits better on my body. And hopefully we can get there one day.
Marissa, what is your ideal wellness physique?
So you know what a centaur is, right?
Oh yeah.
So basically just that, but like in human form. Okay. I'm kidding. I think it's really that the idea that when you look at a wellness athlete's physique, if you were to look at their upper body, you would think, wow, that woman is very in shape. She must work out. And then once you look below from the waist down, you think, damn, that girl's got some legs. So I think that when your legs are really the captivation of the attention, that is the wellness look. And like Bobby said,
booty was the wellness look. So it's not about the booty?
Oh, it's always about the booty. Everything's about the booty.
Booty too. The legs has to
the
be
booty's part of the legs. Okay. But I think that it's really, and then the same thing with the conditioning. I know some people like myself, I respond very well to getting too lean and then reversing up. So I'll post pictures where I'm grainy, I have striations everywhere, I have veins everywhere, but that's not how I would come to stage. It's just how my body needs to be to get to the level of conditioning that I need to be at. So a wellness physique should be that fullness, the separations without the striations, that healthy, beautiful, feminine look, but built with muscle.
Kassandra? What's your ideal wellness physique?
Similar to what they both said. I mean, if you look at the top girls, it's not super out of control. And I think that's why it's important that they're not just rewarding size. Very feminine. That's kind of why, not that figure isn't feminine, but I feel like I wanted to like my body off season and on season. So I like with wellness that you can kind of have nice feminine curves and not be like too big up top. Yeah.
Do you girls think that wellness is the most popular division right now out of the girls? Or would it be up there with bikini?
I think bikini still has a beat, but I think it has the most interest. I know that it's a category that people need to grow into unless they've been playing soccer since they could walk. So it's a very new category and people are excited about it. And I think they're looking to step onto the wellness stage at some point, but I think right now bikini still has more competitors in it.
What do you think we can do, Marissa, to bring in more people into wellness? How would you recruit more people in there?
I really think that showing our starting points is really, really helpful because for myself, I've added, I think, uh, I've added a lot of size in the last couple years, but also it's taken years. So, 2 years in this sport, aggressive, not aggressive, but more long off seasons in between shows, just really taking that time, that dedication, and showing that it is a process so that they don't have to be a Franciele Machos to step on stage for the first time. They just have to be the best version of themselves that they can bring to the stage. And that's what this is all about, like in the cheesiest way possible, it's you versus you. So if you want the wellness look, train like a wellness athlete, train like an open bodybuilder, but with your legs. That's what I always say is bring that intensity, train as if you're going to be an open bodybuilder, because I love all the women out there, but we will never be that big. We will never be a big Rami, even if we train with the same intensity. You know what I mean? Like,
please don't ever be a big Rami. Oh my God.
Like we could train just as hard as him, but we won't be that big. But if you bring that level of intensity,
do you think that wellness has that freak factor like what we have in men's open bodybuilding? Not in a bad way when I say freak factor, because you see these beautiful, gorgeous girls walking out, like you said, the centaur, the big legs, the tiny little waist, nice toned upper body, and it's something you can't believe is real. Like when I first saw wellness, I was like, is that real? But the Brazilians, my God, Babi, it's crazy. Just the legs and the glutes and my God. And that's genetics.
I think at hard work, it's the culture of Brazilians be super competitive. Not competitive like trying to do something bad with each other, but that's why the girls is always like super extra. Like we take care a lot of the body, everything, hair, we like super competitive. So it's the culture to work hard, to have a amazing body. I'm not even talk about bodybuilding. If you go to Rio de Janeiro, the gyms is gonna be packed. Like the girls go crazy in training because they love to do that. They love to take care of themselves. So the culture. That's why I say when I start going to the gym, I was skinny, but I want to build because it's the culture. You want to look good too.
How tall are you, Babi? How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Are you 5'3"? No way.
Short and skinny. So imagine I had to build something.
Wait a minute, because I saw a picture of you the other day, and you look like you're about 5'8". Oh, you had heels on. I was like,
well,
I thought you were taller too.
You have to show me that picture.
I will. Well, it was you. It was you as some kid, and you're just you're greeting them, and you look tall. You don't look like you're 5'3". Now, I know, Kassandra, you're what, 5'7"?
That's why.
I'm 5'5", but people also think I'm
you
much
look
taller.
tall. Well, I'm 5'5". You look taller than me.
I look taller.
That's because all us wellness girlies are like 5 foot flat.
What are you, Marissa?
I'm 5'2". Hence the mini piece. Yeah.
I knew that. Kassandra, all the attention now, there's a lot of attention on you because you're the Miss International winner this year. And so you're going to be up against Franciele, Isa, Angela. What's that going to be like for you? Are you worried about your are you worried about those girls, or do you think, is it just you against you?
Well, it is during prep, you against you. I don't think it's any different than any past Olympia in my mind at the moment anyways. I'm just getting everything done and staying focused on what I need to do. So, yeah.
What is your focus going to be this year? What are you wanting to improve for your package?
It's always my posterior chain. So like my adductors, hamstrings, glutes. I'd like to improve all of those, but at the same time, the judges said they don't want me to get any bigger. So it's a fine balance, and I have to be careful about my training as well. Like I can't go super, super heavy squats because we don't want my upper body to start growing. So it's a very fine line between that.
Now, you are from Canada. How is the wellness over there? Do you have a lot of wellness pros in Canada?
Not as many as I wish we did. It's starting, I guess it's maybe partly because during COVID is when wellness started. So not many Canadians could really jump into competing. Like I was traveling to the US and quarantining back home for 2 weeks and stuff. And all that. I think it is getting more popular, but it's just much bigger in the US because there is more opportunities to compete in the US as well. So
how is your clothing line? By the way, those jeans, I get a lot of compliments on them. Very stretchy and comfortable.
yeah, it's going good. It's not crazy because like Babi said, it's hard to focus on competing and your brand at the same time. So I'm doing what I can with that, and then after the Olympia, I'll be focusing on that more.
Very nice. Did you do a banner with your face on it, your whole body, I would hope, unlike the last?
I did
Good.
after Bob told me to do it. Yeah.
You absolutely had to have that. I mean, yeah. You're a beautiful girl. You got a great body. Come on, show it off.
Thank you.
Marissa, what is your plan, ultimate plan in wellness? What is your goals?
To just keep improving. Honestly, I do this sport because it brings me happiness. I was very broken when I started competing, and I used this process to continuously fall in love with myself. So every show, I make a big intrinsic battle or a big intrinsic ish, something that I've been working on, and then I make my prep the physical manifestation of it. So it's always like bigger than just competing at a show. The placing or a title, anything like that is always just, it's a cherry on top. I always call the show day a finish line. So
Right.
I wish I could tell you, I'm shooting for top 10, top 5. I want to get to the stage alive, healthy, and happy and pass my final exams because they are once again the week of the Olympia.
Oh, boy. Wow.
I don't know why they hate me so much.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Now, when you say you were broken, may I ask, mentally were you broken? Just what was going on, if I can ask?
Yeah. So I suffered from depression and anxiety since I was an early teen. I went through some stuff that I would wish upon nobody. And it took a lot of time to build up from hating myself to liking myself and then continuously trying to fall in love with myself and my faults. I was with a very, very toxic, verbally abusive partner before I met my current boyfriend, who was the sweetest thing ever. And it was just always I was just never enough in so many different facets. And having this intrinsic, goal of bringing the best Marissa, following my diet, which has always been a struggle for me because I'm an emotional eater, following my cardio, doing all of these things to prove to myself that if nobody was willing to fight for me, that I am strong enough and I'm worth fighting for myself. So that's kind of what this whole journey has been for me.
I can see the love between you and your boyfriend there. I love the video where you're like, you're running up to him and you jump on him. So sweet.
He's a little nugget. He's so cute.
He's a tall nugget, though, isn't he?
He is a tall nugget, yes.
Cassandra, I never did ask you, how did you get in wellness?
I guess my coach actually was the one that convinced me. I was still in the figure category, and he was like, "Have you heard about wellness?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's the reason I started to train." But the category didn't exist at the time in the IFBB. And he believed in me. A lot of people said, like, "What are you doing? You're figure, like you're never going to go anywhere in wellness." And I just stuck to what I wanted to do and believed in. And here we are. So.
And Babi, I know that being Brazilian, it's in your blood, for wellness and whatnot. But how did you get into it?
No, actually, in 2019, I decided, I always like to train, but never follow diet. Like Marissa say, I'm skinny, but I love food. I'm Brazilian, so we eat carbs all the time. So it was really hard for me to follow a diet. So I say, no, you know what? I'm going to compete because I believe if I have a goal, I'm going to follow that goal. And then I can see, I just want to see my waist tiny. Like I want to see my body shedded for one time and see how it goes. And by that time, the wellness division was in Brazil. wasn't in America yet. So I decided to do bikini. So I started prepping for bikini. My show was supposed to be October. And then I had the chance to meet JM and Tyler by August. And and I was in prep, I was like 10 weeks out, something like that. And then they look at me, they say, "You're gonna do wellness, right?"
What was
And
it like meeting JM the first time? He's a
it was
very,
funny because I barely could speak English.
I
I
bet
was
he'd
still
love
learning.
that.
But he was so sweet, like being patient. I think he's used to like always traveling, be like people foreign. So I felt like so welcoming, and I wasn't used to that. My English was really like basic. I remember we used to try to talk in the Google Translate. It was funny. But anyway, they told me you should do wellness. Wellness going to start next year. I was like, but I want to compete now. I love the bikini look too. I think it's beautiful, feminine. And they're like, no, you have a genetic, you can grow your legs. You can see that your legs is overpowering. And I wasn't even big like that. But I love training. I wasn't training. I remember I was prepping for bikini. I only like could do kickbacks and a lot of cardio. And I love training. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to it and train because I love training. So I start.
How much do you love training?
Huh?
How much do you love training?
I love training.
You do love training. I counted like 10 times. I love training. I know you love training. I can see it. You got the body for it.
I love it.
So, yeah, I just like to be at the gym and like trying different things and learn different techniques. I'm blessed to be with like people that teach me so much, and since then my body has changed. But yeah, and then I started my job. I waited, and then COVID happened. I had to wait. The shows moved around, so I had my first show in Chicago Pro, the extravaganza that actually happened in Atlanta that year. And then I had my first show and I won my class and then started my journey.
All right. Very cool. Marissa, I got to ask you a question. This is a question I want to ask all of you. And that is, what do you feel is your calling in this world?
Oh,
Gotcha. I'm kidding.
In this world, I have two. I'm trying to decide so I don't talk your ear off about both.
That's all good.
So I thoroughly believe that I was given a second chance. If you would have asked me 6 years ago if I would still be here, I would answer no. So I know what it feels like to be in pain. And if I spend every single day of my life making one person's life 1% better, then I can look back at my life and call it a success. So I'm going into medicine, and I've also found this passion through bodybuilding. And I like to say that I'm in brightening the world one smile at a time. I love the reach that I have that bodybuilding has gifted me, because I can reach so many more people being on this stage and inspiring them to find fitness and find happiness and peace and wholeness through bodybuilding. And then also through my dental career is transforming lives and fixing smiles, but also fixing health and giving people second chances at life and the confidence to smile and have that happy moment without being in the back of their head, being like, oh, I wish I could smile right now, but my teeth are XYZ. And I've heard that from competitors too. When someone says, when you're on stage, what is your least favorite thing about your physique? And I've heard Olympians say my smile, and that breaks my heart, that on the Olympia stage that they are nervous to smile. And that is just, that's both worlds. I get to try to encourage people to find this peace and self-love through fitness like I did, and also go through medicine and be the person that actually gets in there and fixes some of these issues that will give them a better life.
I'm one of the luckiest girls right now because I have 3 beautiful ladies, 3 beautiful Olympians on here that truly have very big hearts and really mean, you really care about the athletes and the people in the sports, and that goes a long way. So thank you for all that you do. Kassandra, What is your calling in this world?
I wish I had an answer as good as Marissa, but I feel like I'm still trying to figure that one out. I know I want to help people and make a difference in their lives in this world. And I know I can do that by fitness, but that's kind of just the beginning of it. And I want to dive a bit deeper and kind of figure that out for myself on what I can do after competing, during competing too. But yeah.
Well, let me tell you that you inspire millions around the world because a lot of people talk a lot about you and how they love your look and they love it, how kind you are as well. So you're definitely changing people's lives, that's for sure, all of you. And Babi, I have to leave this with you because you're the person who inspired me to ask this question. So what is your calling in this world?
So I think is that's something that I always ask myself because I don't want to cry. No matter what,
Right.
I think like I think no for where I came from. I think first thing first.
I didn't mean to make you cry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I always remind myself every day where I came from. And I came from, a lot of people don't know, but I came from really, really poor family. My mom, she's a single mom, 4 kids, and she's my biggest inspiration because she showed me how to be strong in a country that is not easy to build a family. If people think it is hard, like go to Brazil and you see the reality. So I saw my mom working so hard to raise us, and it was so funny because one day I stopped to think, and even though we all go through hard moments in our life, we go through challenge, and sometimes we stop and think, why this is happening to me? Why people will hurt me?
Yes.
Why people why this is happening? But the other side, if you stop and look at maybe because God has a reason for all of that. And then sometimes I can't believe that I'm living this, that I'm here in America and I'm able to travel. I was able to travel all over the world. I was going to Germany and I have people shaking to meet me. And then I could have believed that me that came from a third world country from family, but a poor family, was able to reach someone from another country that I could barely communicate with them because I don't speak German. And then they can feel my energy, and that's the most important for me.
Yes.
That even though social media, I know today it's all about the look and it's all about what you have or it's all about the likes, if people like you or not. I think the most important thing for me is people feel my energy from whatever they are. And then I think if I can touch them in some way positive, I think that's that's already making my day. So in that what make me go through everything that I had to go through, is that what make me be grateful even though I had to go through pain, because I believe that God had a reason for me. And then if it make me stronger, that means that I can help someone else be strong too.
Sure, absolutely, 100%. Ladies, I know you got things to do. I appreciate you so much. I want to leave this with each and every one of you. If you want something to say to your family, your viewers, your fans, or our viewers, please say whatever you want. You want to give a shout out to your sponsors, please do that as well. Kassandra?
Yeah, I'd love to shout out my sponsors, Dragon Pharma, Dark Sport, Suits You Competition Suits, and just say thank you so much for all the support, and thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, thank you for being here. You have no idea how much it means to me. Marissa?
I want to say thank you to anybody watching. We have this life and this ability because of you guys, because of your love and support. And we, honest to God, I know none of us could do it without all of you. Also, a thank you to Kassandra and my coach, Chris Garunlian, and also my sponsors who have believed in me more than I believe in myself. I sometimes gasp in Better Bodies. But Yeah, thank you guys so much. And also thank you for having me. It is an honor to be on this call with you three incredible women.
Babi?
Yeah, I want to thank you, like everyone that had, like, always sent me so much love and respect. And of course, my sponsors, Celsius, Get, Bombshell, Slim Tone, Swimsuits. Thank you for always supporting me, believe in myself, believe in me. And thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. It
Thank you
means
for
a
being on.
lot to me. It means a lot to me hear from you. What you think about me and my physique, but me as a person too. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, you all are just beautiful, again, beautiful hearts and with phenomenal physiques. And, you know, what I love about all three of you is that, again, you're very genuine. If a fan came up to you, you're not going to be like, okay, I don't have time for you. Each and every one of you care. You give the time to the fans and the athletes, and that just goes a long way. And, again, all of you inspire so many people around the world. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for being on the show. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the Olympia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.